So in this video we're going to show you how to make the Sarah Jane necklace and bracelet. This is a repeating motif that works all the way around. I'm going to focus on showing you the bracelet in this video because the two strands are slightly different, whereas the necklace is a simple repeat that goes all the way around. What we need to do is sort our beads if we want a repeating colour sequence, and I'd suggest that when you do this you sort them out for both the necklace and the bracelet before you start. Okay, so I've prepared the needle with a length of double thread, and I've tied a keeper bead about 15 centimetres or so from the end of the thread to give me enough of a tail to work in when we get to that end. Okay, so we're going to start by adding the clasp of the bracelet. So we're going to start by picking up a 6mm bead, a larger seed bead, and then 3 smaller seed beads. We're going to slide those all the way down to the keeper bead, and then we're going to make a picot point for the edge. We're going to leave aside the last 3 beads that we've threaded. We're going to come back through the larger seed bead and through the 6mm bead. We're going to be careful we don't catch the keeper bead or the thread as we come back through. And we're going to pull that down into a point on the end there. Okay, now to secure the end, we're going to remove the keeper bead. Just slide that off. And we're going to tie the 2 ends of the threads together. I'm going to pull once and we're going to tie it a second time. Okay, and that's the end of the thread and the end of the beads nice and secure. Now we're going to start on making the motif. So we're going to start by picking up 9 small beads, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're going to pick up a leaf. I'm going to pick up another 9 small beads, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to pick up our first set of twin beads, and we're going to pick up 6 of these, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to slide everything down, and then we're going to go back through the hole in the first twin bead, the same hole as we went through before, and that will pull them round into a circle. The other thing we need to do is make sure that this circle is sitting nice and snugly next to the string of beads so that we don't end up with any gaps along the length of the bracelet. We're now going to add the centre of the flower. So to do this, we're going to pick up one of the larger beads, and then we're going to come round 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go in through the hole there. And what this will do is just make that bead sit across the centre of the daisy. Okay, and now what we're going to do is come through the next bead around, and we're going to add the daisy to the second side of the flower so that if it flips over it looks the same. So again, we're going to pick up one of the larger beads, and we're going to count round 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go through that bead again. And we're just going to settle that so that it's sitting as it needs to. Okay, now what we're going to do is bring it round to start the next string. So we're going to go through 1, 2, 3 twin beads, and then we're in the right place to start the next repeat of the flowers. So again, we pick up 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a leaf, and another 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, is that 9? It's 4, 9. Slide those down, and then we're in the correct place to start the next flower. So again, we pick up 6 twin beads, slide them down, come through, and then add the centre. So around 1, 2, 3. And come through and through a bead, turn it over, add the centre on the back, whoops, come through, and make sure you're in the correct place to start the next repeat. Okay, we're going to do this repeat twice more, and then end with a leaf, and then put the loop on the other end. Okay, so now we've completed the sequence and ended it with 9 beads, we're going to add the clasp loop. So to do this, I'm going to pick up one of your larger flower centres, and we're going to pick up enough A beads so it's going to fit over this bead from the other end nice and tightly. So we're going to start by picking up 16 beads, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, to bring these into a loop, we're going to come back through the larger seed bead, and now it's important to check the fit. So you want to slide that over, and you want something that's going to fit reasonably tightly. You don't want to have to force it over because then you run the risk of snapping the thread, but you don't want it to just pop straight on and off because then it's going to be too loose and you run the risk of losing your bracelet. So I'd say that's about right. Okay, so to start making the second strand, what we're going to do is we're going to thread on enough beads so that we're sitting roughly level with the leaf. We want to sit halfway to the next flower. So if we pick up 3, 4, 5, I think 6 beads should do it there. And we're going to start and make our next flower, and then we're going to work back down the second length of the bracelet, just adding the flower motifs, and we're going to space them out by threading 19 A beads in between and not adding any leaves. I've just got the last flower motif to do on the second side of the bracelet, so we'll pick up 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bring them into the circle. I'm going to add the centre. Now don't forget, when you're working with double thread, to make sure that both your loops are pulling through evenly, because otherwise if you can end up with a little loop sitting on the top, which is not what we need. So just make sure at the end of your stitch you give your work a little bit of a tug just to pull everything up nice and snug. Okay, and do the flower on the centre on the second side of the flower. Okay, loop. Didn't look quite right. There we go. And we'll go through this last bead and through. Just make sure your flower's sitting properly. And then if we, there we go. So as you can see then, we just need to bring this down to about the end here. So we're just going to pick up another 19 beads. 7, 8, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we'll have a look. Oops. There's that pesky thread loop again. Now as you can see, 19 is too many for there, so if we just take off the last 5, and don't do what I was about to do, make sure you pull your beads back through so you don't catch your thread. And then to finish it off, we're going to come back through the bead, which might be a little bit tight because of the knot we tied at the beginning. Okay, so we've passed the needle through the clasp bead and the larger seed bead. So we're just going to go through the 3 beads on the end of the picot, back through the larger seed bead, and back through the clasp bead. So it's going to start to get a bit squeezy now because you've got quite a lot of thread running through. And just pull it through, and again that's all the way through. So that's everything nice and secure, nice and reinforced. And then all we're going to do is we're going to tie the thread ends together again, pull it through, pull it through, and then we're going to take the needle back down the strand. And then to finish this thread end off, we're going to tie a couple of knots. So come round the thread, make a loop, and pull your knot tight through a few more beads. Tie another knot, and then just go through another couple of beads so that you're not trimming your thread right next to your knot, and snip. And then to finish, you're going to thread your needle onto the other end of the thread and do the same thing again with the other end, and there you have your beautifully finished bracelet.